How can you start a conversation with anyone? For example, how can you start a conversation at a networking event? What if I told you the hardest part is usually starting a conversation? I honestly believe if you have the power to make a conversation with anyone, you can literally get anything. In this video, I'm going to give you the best ways to make a conversation with anyone and break the ice, so let's get started. Why should you learn to make a conversation with anyone? Every single person in your life was once a stranger to you. Every stranger comes with an opportunity. This can be an opportunity to learn something new or have an experience you have never had. There's something that you can learn from everyone. We all have gifts to share. So, to master this art, you need to work on yourself. This means that, number one, you need to get over the "what do I say" barrier. This is so important. Do not be afraid to initiate. This will make you appear confident, and you may find that you'll end up speaking less. Deep down, we all know how to communicate and be the person we want to be if we just think less and just act instead. Over time, I have come to learn that the most important thing to remember is that you do not have to be in your head so much, and this will liberate you from your anxieties. Number two, be yourself. Being yourself will show through your appearance, posture, and body language. All this will also play a role in how the conversation will end up. Other than looking presentable, I highly recommend that you have a pleasant disposition. For example, you can practice in the mirror how to appear more relaxed when starting a conversation with anyone. I recommend that you simply talk to people with a sense of adventure and excitement of learning about a new person. Being yourself is the best advice I can give to anyone who is looking to start a conversation with anyone. Number three, practice speaking at a comfortable volume. When you speak, you should try not to be loud or too low. That's because you wouldn't want the other person to be straining to hear you. Like every time they are like, "I'm sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "What did you say?" Or, on the other hand, you are too loud, so you appear like you are yelling in their ear. Also, try not to speak so fast because it will make you sound hyperactive and frantic. And also, don't speak too slow. I recommend recording yourself to get a better idea of how well you talk and practice to be better. Part 2. How to start a conversation with a stranger. I will give you great situation conversation starters. Number 1. Find something that you both have in common. Look for a common ground. When you start a conversation with anyone, try to find something that you both have in common. For example, this can be the weather, traffic, you are both in the same place at the same time, and so much more. Number 2. Start with a nice, unique, genuine compliment. A unique, genuine compliment is a great way of starting a conversation with anyone, and you'll find that everything then flows well because the tension is gone. What if you don't know what to compliment them with? Take note of the genuine thoughts going on in your head about that person before you approach them. Don't try so hard to come up with a pre-planned line because it may end up coming across as lack of genuineness. Number 3. Start by asking for their opinion on something. In most cases, this is when real conversations begin when trying to make a conversation with a stranger. Don't ask for an opinion on something that is really difficult. Just ask something simple. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that when they reply, make sure that you show them that you are really listening and not listening to reply. Number 4, jump right in. You can start by, hey, I don't think I have met you. Then you say your name and stick your hand out for a handshake. This one is great if you are at a networking event, at a party, or at a social event. The I don't believe I've met you works total wonders. Part 3. How to keep the conversation going. Number 1. Ask open-ended and follow-up questions. To nail this, you'll need to be a good listener, so that once you start the conversation, you'll be able to build the conversation by listening to what the other person has to say and using that to build a conversation. This will make the conversation go more smoothly and last a little longer, thus building more connection between you two. Also, make sure you remember the name and details of that person. You have no idea how important that makes them feel when you remember the little details about them. Number 2, stick to safe subjects. Avoid touchy subjects like politics, money, intimacy, and so much more. Instead, focus on safer subjects such as travel, hobbies, food, pets, and so much more. Number 3, try not to talk so much about yourself. This turns off people so fast. Number 4, try not to consistently interrupt them when they are talking. If you want to agree with them, you don't need to interrupt them as they speak. You can nod to show that you agree, raise your eyebrows to act surprised, pinch the bridge of your nose, and shake your head if something they are saying is exasperating. In conclusion, do all this repeatedly. You may not get it right the first, second, and third time, but guess what? Practice makes perfect. Be patient with yourself and try not to give yourself excuses or give up just because you haven't nailed it the first, second, and third time you tried starting a conversation with anyone.